Aerospace giant Thales has said that production of Rafale fighters for India is indeed on track. Speaking with CNBC TV18's Rituparna Bhuyan, Thales chairman and CEO Patrice Caine said the company will be looking at using India to serve its diversified global supply chain.
I'm thinking of the LCA, for instance, that is potentially a very important opportunity for Thales.
In June, you announced an intent to basically have a joint venture with Reliance Defense. So let's talk about that first. What was interesting is that you had this joint venture with an Indian company which is completely new to the field of defense. So how come you chose Reliance Defense, which does not have past experience on defense? So what made you join hands with Reliance Defense in this area?
First, they have already a presence in defense, and they are new, but they have already a presence in defense by acquisition. Secondly, of course, they have high ambition, so it's up to them to develop this point, but they have ambition. And clearly, this group is part of the ecosystem, current and future ecosystem, that clearly will help Indian ambition to be met in the future.
Right. So this intent for joint venture, when do we see it fructify into a full-fledged joint venture? I guess the facility will be set up in Nagpur, in
That's
Maharashtra.
the plan. Yes, that's the plan. The discussions are ongoing, are progressing very well. So hopefully, probably next year, we'll be able to say more. But clearly, the discussions are progressing very well.
Do we see Thales being open to increasing the equity partnership in these joint ventures in the future?
Clearly, we are open about it. It's a new possibility. So let's look at it and see how we can create even more value for the customer at the end of the day.
Right.
It has just been issued, in fact, last year. So it's a bit too soon to say or to have a definitive opinion about it. But any new opportunity should be looked at, I would say, openly.
Okay, let's talk about the overall strategy for India itself. India contributes, if you go by news reports which I read, about 2.5% to 3% to overall turnover of Thales. But I guess you'd want to see this enhanced. Can you give us a sense of how do you see India's presence India's presence in Thales's books increasing in the future?
Absolutely. First, perhaps to be a bit more precise, I would say the size of Thales here represents directly and indirectly, in terms of people, 1,500 people. So already, I would say something which is at the size of Thales, quite material, quite substantial. Our ambition is to double the size of Thales, be it in terms of euros or in terms of people, the size of Thales, let's say, within the next 2 to 3 years. And it is possible. It's ambitious, but it is possible. On a long-term view, I think to reach €1 billion of business for India, with India, in India, is also something which is credible. So you see, we have high ambition to develop our presence here.